Hey all you shotheads, today I have Gage here. He's going to do a deck profile of his Pendulum Magicians. I'll leave the rest of the video up to him.
Alright, so like you said, I got a Pendulum Magician deck profile for you guys today. 43 cards. That's about it. Let's get right into it. Started off, we got 3 Double Iris Magician. Pretty straightforward. Pops himself. Dark Spellcaster does double damage, and when he's destroyed by battle or card effect, you add a pendulumgraph spell or trap to your hand. Run 3 Black Fang Magician. Now one of our cosplay magicians, he pops himself to make a opponent's monster half its attack, and when destroyed by battle or card effect, special summons a Dark Spellcaster from grave. Have 3 of the Purple Poison Magician. Pops himself from a scale to boost a Dark Spellcaster by 1200 attack, and when destroyed by battle or card effect, pops a card on the field. I run 2 of the White Wing Magician. Kind of run a bit of a heavy synchro build, sort of, so I really like to be able to get the extra tuners on board. Really helps with the rank 8 or level 8 synchros, and really all there is to that. Run 2 Astrograph Sorcerer, good 2500 body, kind of a hand trap type thing. When a card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon him and add a card that was destroyed this turn back to your hand from your deck. And also for Zark. Run 3 Harmonizing Magician. Helps out to keep it alive in link format. Gets an extra monster out of the deck when you pendulum summon her from hand. Special summons an extra Magician Pendulum monster from the deck. Extra monsters on the board. Helps go into any link plays if you need to, or you can just go straight into synchros. Run 3 Wisdom Eye Magician. Pretty straightforward. Put him in a scale with another magician. He pops himself to put another magician from the deck in that zone. Puts himself in the extra deck, ready to bounce back. Run 2 copies of Oafdragon Magician. Moved it around, tried it at 1, tried it at 3. 2 is really where I like it. 3 I see it too much, 1 I don't see it enough. It really helps keep it alive. Another one of those cards to help it in the link format. Add your Magician Pendulum monsters back to your hand from face up in your extra deck so that you can get them out a little bit easier. I run 2 Performapal Skullcrobat Joker. It's another one of those. I've moved it around. I like it at 2. 3, I just see too much of it. It kind of bricks me up a little bit, choke on it. 1, I never see it, and so 2 is pretty much where I like it at. And then next, I have 3 Dragonpulse Magician. Really cool little combo he's got here. It goes into Mrs. Radiant. Is normal monster, so there's a little bit you can play with there. Other than that, he's got a pretty good scale effect. You can pitch 1 Pendulum monster from hand to destroy a monster on the field. To go with your Dragonpulse Magicians, I run 1 Rescue Rabbit. It takes your normal summon, and if you've got 2 Dragonpulse in deck, you can get them out basically for a normal summon. Goes straight into misses. It can be an effect monster for your Decode if you need it to. It's pretty straightforward. Also, nice little thing that I've been testing out is this rescue hamster. It kind of does a similar thing to Rescue Rabbit, I'm sure you can guess, but it works specifically with pendulums, and even more so with level 5 or lower pendulums that are face up in your extra deck. You can normal summon this card, target one of your level 5 or lower pendulums, and special summon 2 from the deck with the same name. Again, just helps put monsters on board for your link format combos, your synchros and ixies if you need them. It's just a really good little piece. Another interesting little card that I've been testing out is a Doomstar Magician. It's a little bit better in the mirror match. You can pop your opponent's pendulum monsters, but it works for your own cards too. You can discard one card, then target a card in either player's pendulum zone to destroy that card, and if you do, draw one card. Goes into the deck a little bit, sets your combos off if you need to, breaks your opponent's scales if you're in a mirror match or against any pendulum deck. Just a one of, that's not super important. You don't always want to see it, but sometimes it really does help push into your combos and get into the deck. One Maxx, draw power, that's really all there is to it. I run one Tuning Magician. So generally able to get it on board for essentially free. If you have 2 magicians in your scales, you can special summon her from hand or graveyard, and but she is banished when she leaves the field. She's a level 1 tuner, dark tuner. Next, I run 2 Spellbook Magician of Prophecy, Blue Boy. I think you guys probably know where this is going. It's a little Spellbook draw engine, followed up with 2 Spellbook of Secrets and 2 Spellbook of Knowledge. You just normal summon your Blue Boy, add a Secrets, search out a Knowledge, and send your Blue Boy, draw 2. It also works, you can draw Secrets, get the Blue Boy, search out Knowledge, and draw 2. Nice little consistency piece. I run 1 Pendulum Call. It helps with bricky hands sometimes. It can kind of slow your combos down a little bit, not being able to destroy your pendulum monsters, your scales. But I think it's good enough at 1. Keeps the hands a little bit more consistent without actually hurting anything too badly. Last of the spells, I run 2 Star Pendulumgraph. Whenever a magician pendulum monster leaves the field, you get to add another one from your deck to your hand. Helps, just basically helps keep your hand full of cards so that you can actually keep putting things out. Another thing, really helps out in link format. That's why I run it at 2. That's really all there is to that. And then moving on to the traps, I only run 3 trap cards. I run 1 Unending Nightmare. Kind of just testing it out. It seems to have some pretty good utility, moving things around, getting things where they need to be. Pretty simple little trap card. I only run 1 of the Time Pendulum Graph. It's not really necessary to have it more than 1. Anytime I have it at more than 1, it seems to show up too often. Not to mention it's searchable by Double Iris Magician. It doesn't really set your plays off so as well as it could. I just personally don't see it having a need to be at anything more than 1. And then last one, I run 1 Solemn Warning, just a nice little stop a special summon or a normal summon. But yeah, that's it. All right, onto the extra deck. Start with our links. I run 1 Mrs. Radiant for the Rescue Rabbit little combo with Dragonpulse Magician. It comes in handy pretty well. There maybe will be better options one day, but for right now, this is what we're working with. So it's just a one of, because most of the deck is dark, you don't really get to go into it too often, but there are little combos that you can make to get there pretty easily. There's that. 1 Decode Talker, just because that's really one of the best things we have to work with right now. The magicians don't have a whole lot tailored to them specifically, so you kind of just have to run with the generic stuff we can. I run 2 of the Timestar Magician now in the TCG. Pretty good little rank 4, detaches a material, searches out a dark spellcaster. That's essentially searches out half of the deck. Whatever you really need in that situation, you can pretty much get to it. 1 Performapal Trapeze Magician really helps with potential OTKs, putting extra damage on the board, and during the end phase destroys the monster that you targeted with its effect, so you can do extra damage and then potentially get off your extra magician effects. Run 1 Supreme King Dragon Dark Rebellion. Again, just another piece for putting extra damage out. You can detach a material and reduce one of your opponent's monsters that it's battling to 0, and it gains that much attack. Almost like a overpowered Honest in 1 rank 4. So that's a pretty good little piece there. Onto the synchros. I run 1 Trishula Dragon of the Ice Barrier. On summon, banishes 1 card from your opponent's hand, field, and or graveyard. It's a 2700 body on board. It's all right, but then with the Tuning Magician, it has a nice little thing that the Tuning Magician and 2 level 4 non-tuners can go into the Trishula and then go right into the next card. Is a Nirvana High Paladin. He's a level 10 synchro, and he's at 3300, and when he destroys an opponent's monster by battle, after the damage calculation, you can half your opponent's life points. It doesn't happen all the time. He doesn't come out all the time. But sometimes he shows up when he needs to, and can make duels go a little bit faster. Obviously, cutting your opponent's life points in half, especially if you can get him out early, and then being a 3300 body on top of that really does help. Another similar little combo is starting off with Arcanite Magician. Fairly easy to go into. When you summon him, he gains 2 counters, and you can remove both counters to destroy face-up cards on the field. Pretty basic little spot removal. And then again with the Tuning Magician, you can bring her back with her own effect and summon the Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. It's pretty straightforward. I think most of us probably know what it does, but for those that don't, once per turn, when another monster's effect is activated, you can negate the activation if you do destroy that monster, and if you do, this card gains that much attack. And also, if this card battles an opponent's monster, during damage calculation, this card gains attack equal to the attack of the opponent's monster during that damage calculation. So, really hard to kill monster. 3000, if he gets his effect off, he boosts up even higher. So, pretty good little piece to be able to go into. 1 Enlightenment Paladin, real easy level 8 synchro to go into. Searches or recurs a spell card from your graveyard if you've used any up to that point. Sometimes you can even get back your knowledge, make some nice little plays there. Otherwise, when he destroys a monster by battle, he can inflict damage to your opponent equal to the attack that it had on the field. So it's just a nice little piece there. 1 Psy-framelord Omega, another easy level 8 synchro to go into. Pretty much during either player's turn, during either player's main phase, you can banish him from the field. So if he's in your extra zone, he leaves out and he'll come back to the main monster zone. Also, when he's banished through his own effect, he also banishes a card from your opponent's hand. That usually comes in pretty handy. Help keep your opponent from going off quite as crazy as they might have. Last of the synchros, 1 Supreme King Dragon Clearwing. Nukes the board on summon, on synchro summon. Just a good way to clear your opponent's boards out. I know that this deck kind of can have some trouble doing that. A lot of the main deck monsters aren't really strong enough to beat over much without other effects. So if you ever find yourself stuck, you can pretty much always make an easy level 8 synchro, and this is a really good one to clear your opponent's boards out. I run 2 fusions, 1 Supreme King Dragon Starving Venom. When it's while it's on the field, it can basically copy the name and effect of any monster in either player's graveyard and just sits at 28. When it uses its effect to copy another effect, it also lets all of your monsters do piercing. Last of the fusion monsters, I run 1 Supreme King Zark. It's a little bit tougher to get out in the link format. It's a little bit slower, but I think it's still worth running at 1. Nukes the board when he comes out. He's pretty much indestructible except by battle, and he's a 4,000 beater, so most of the time your opponent's going to have some trouble beating him with straight battle anyway. And a lot of times, most of the time when he gets on board, he's just going to blow everything up and swing for pretty much half of your opponent's life points. So when you can get him out, it's pretty good. All right, that's pretty much it. If you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like, and if you guys are new around here, go ahead and subscribe. I'll see you guys later.